Yay, it's the map everybody loves, Galente Research Facility, aka the lag map. Now, here's the thing, if you're a PC player lately, you realize that this map isn't even on PC rotation anymore, for a very good motherfucking reason. It lags like a son of a bitch. So, CCP at least admitted, well, okay, something makes the map lag, we don't exactly know why or what or where, so we're gonna take it out of the PC rotation, just like the MCC Construction Center map got taken out of the game in general until they can fix that too. So here's the thing, if they know the map doesn't work, then why the hell am I playing on this map right now in every other game mode? If it's not good enough for PC, it shouldn't be good enough for the rest of the game until it's fixed. Which is a darn shame, because this map's actually really good as far as its layout. I'd have to say it's probably the best design and most fun map in the entire game. That's that. But yes, you are watching a Caldari Factional Warfare, and right now I'm going to display the Amar Logi and what a Logi is supposed to do in this game, because everyone thinks that a Logi is just a little warpoint whore and doesn't really contribute to his team besides nothing but war points and orbitals, blah 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 blah, and that's simply not true. There was a time actually in this game where the Logi was the best suit to use ever, like the Caldari Logi was the best assault suit to use, because Logis have more fitting, they have more CPU, they have more PG, and then they also have the built-in passive racial skill of their equipment, but also the fitting of that equipment. All equipment has 25% less fitting for CPU and PG on every Logi if you have it at level 5 prototype. So if you really want to make a good assault suit, all you had to do was forego equipment besides maybe healing nanohives, and just bam, there you go. This is why Logis don't have a sidearm except for the Amar Logi, which sacrifices an equipment slot for that. And it really was this huge debate in the game at the time if the Logi is not fitting its role, or because it's supposed to be like an EVE-based sandbox game that you should be able to take any suit and kind of work it any way which way you want. I don't know. I didn't mind the Murder Slayer Logi combo back in the day. Grant you, I used it just like everybody else. But, you know, the assault suits were just as good. There's things you can do with assault suits then and now that you just cannot do with the Logi. Right now, you can tank assault suits. They're still rather fast, and obviously the weapon bonuses make them very, very, very lethal. Logis aren't really meant to be lethal. They're logistics. You know, they're supposed to move multiple equipment, help your team through support. But at the same time, that does not forgive a Logi for having terrible, terrible negative KDs. I know a lot of people in this game that have a 1 KD or less than a 1 KD, and they're like, well, I'm a Logi. So fucking what? You still have to shoot, you still have to defend yourself. Going 0-10 and getting 6,000 war points is not acceptable as a Logi, because think about this, average 10 seconds of spawn, right? Well, if you die 10 times, that's 100 seconds that you are out of the game. That's over a minute and a half that you're out of the game. You're not helping your team if you're out 10% of the game. You're not helping your team by giving off your uplink bonus, or your repping, or doing whatever it is that you're doing, or just another gun on the field if you're going to be out of the game for a minute and a half. Think about that. Could you imagine what it's like having someone, quote unquote, like sitting in the penalty box or sitting over the map, hovering AFK and whatever for a minute and a half? That's a long time if you really think about it. So KD is not an excuse for a Logi. Logi should defend themselves and not worry so much about helping their team in the traditional sense, because you're helping your team by scoring enemy kills, by either getting kill assists or just whatever. It's perfectly okay to attack as a Logi. Watching your heavy get mowed down and just keeping the rep tool on him, you're just farming war points, and that's probably cool if you really need an orbital. But if you're just, you know, farming your own teammates for war points, I don't consider yourself a Logi. I don't consider yourself a support player. You're not really supporting your team. There is a little phrase in the game that a Logi does good as his team does bad, and that's true. I mean, how many times do you look at the losing team and you see some guy going 0-5 or 5-1 at the top of the leaderboard, and he's got triple war points over anyone else on his team, and probably more so than the first two first places on the other team combined, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, I did my part. No, you didn't. You just farmed your own fucking teammates for war points. You were repping them because they were not good enough to stay alive. Well, here's the thing, if you have to rep them and constantly needle them, then obviously they have a problem with shooting the enemy and scoring the kill before they get killed way too much. So it's your job to cut up the slack, and it's your job to be that support player and use your gun and help them score kills and terminate clones. I don't know, I'm really mixed on this opinion because I really don't like the excuse of Logis having bad KDs or negative KDs, because I know it's very tempting when you see that revive icon flashing on your screen. It's really tempting not to walk over there and score 90 points or even more with a defend order or objective order. It's really, really tempting to go over there and do that, but sometimes it's not the best thing to do. Sometimes it is the best thing to do. I'm saying Logis are very important in the game. In fact, Logis win games because Logis are able to put down uplinks, and uplinks win games. So equipment wins games. Do nanohives win games? No, not really. Everyone knows Rep Tool, Needle, and uplinks are going to win objective-based game modes. That's just the way it is. Scans help sometimes too. The Galente Logi is kind of underpowered as far as its war point capability, because if it gives scans off to the entire team that the entire team can see for up to 200 meters or down to a ridiculous decibel level, that's really awesome. But he only gets the war points from those kills. He only gets 15 per kill, and that's only if it's in his squad. So, I mean, as far as war point horn, the Galente Logi is probably the least. The Mimitar Logi with its repping bonus is probably the most. And then the Caldari Logi is probably, I'd say, less than the Amar Logi. The Amar Logi is actually very useful. The reason I use it, one, because it's Amar, and the Amar is the master race. And two, is because it does have a sidearm, so I can defend myself better, because if I run dry on ammo, if I'm firefighting, I don't know, say a HMG heavy, then I can pull out my submachine gun or whatever my secondary is and hopefully get the kill, or at least get the kill assist, or really help my team. I find that I'm probably better helping my team as a Logi with my gun over my rep tool or my uplinks. That's really, 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 really the main reason I like the Amar Logi, because if I put down an uplink, my backup, my blue dots, my green dots, whatever, my backup to help me win these gunfights is only 3 seconds away. In 3 seconds, they're going to spawn wherever I put them, and bam, it's on. If you're going to be a Logi in this game, don't be one of those people that turns to being a Logi because, I'm tired of getting my ass kicked all the time. If you're tired of getting your ass kicked all the time, either jump in a tank or become a heavy. Don't sacrifice your KD and your gun game for being a Logi. It's just, you're not helping your team. In fact, you're probably doing no favors for your team whatsoever. I remember I was playing a PC once, and our top guy went 6 in 22 with 8,000 war points. 22 times he died. That's crazy, right? Guess what happened in that game? We got cloned the fuck out. We got smashed. We got beat up. Because even if he was a great Logi, just imagine how much more war points he would have had he stayed alive. Stay alive as a Logi. Be aggressive as a Logi. Be an assault. You're just an assault with a few extra equipment slots and no sidearm. Okay, that made a lot of sense, and a little less HP, so you're slower. Okay, Logis are not assaults, but Logis are in a good spot in this game right now. Finally, when we got all the racial suits and all the guns in the game, I think Logis are in a really good spot. So, what is your Logi fit? What do you like to do as being a Logi? I mean, there's a lot you can do as a Logi, and sometimes you do need to just farm war points off of stupid blueberries, because, it is the saving grace for you to do something in a game, because you may not come out on the winning end of the game, but at least you can come out profitable, because this whole Logis not being profitable in game thing is fucking bullshit as far as I'm concerned. The Logis bitch about, even if we score 6,000 war points, we still don't make enough ISK in a pug match to replace the cost because our suits are so expensive. It's like, no, there's no fucking excuse for going 0-10 as a goddamn Logi. There's no excuse for going 0-10 in any suit. That's just the way it is. But let me know what you think a Logi's role is, and do you think they're underpowered, overpowered? Do you think they need to be rebalanced or looked at, or do you think they're fine just the way they are? I just really want to know. I want to know from the community. I'm kind of like your makeshift CPM here. I'm on your side, Logis, because, I have a couple Logi suits. Of course, I have a ton of suits, and of course, you'll be seeing my Dropsuit command skill tree someday, whatever, and you'll realize where all my SP is going to. But anyway, just let me know. I'm always anxious to compare fits and everything in this game, even Logi fits. I mean, this Logi that you're seeing, the Amar Logi, it's a combat rifle. It has an uplink because of my Logi bonus applying to uplinks. It has a rep tool, the triage rep tool, because it's the best reps I can give, and of course it has a needle, so I can just pop people back up and pretty much have them back to full health and ready to fight again. I mean, a lot of times I will say that this Logi does suck in the sense that if my team is doing really, really well, there's no ammo for them to refill their guns, so heavies can run dry a lot, and then I have to run to a supply depot. We have to make our way to a supply depot. So I mean, I see that as a balancing factor, I really do, because an Amarology really helps hold a point by having 3-second spawns, or it helps attack a point with 3-second spawns. But, you know, you have to sacrifice something, and that's about what this game is. You know, you having your cake and eating it too, and maybe not getting the right color sprinkles that you want. Sprinkles sound so good right now. Alright, see you later.